Morning guys. I hope this whole COVID thing is treating you well. It's a bit surreal what's going on, but luckily I've got a case swap to keep me busy. So I did some work on it yesterday, but I forgot to record. Did have the camera out with me, just never pressed record. So essentially yesterday I relocated the power steering reservoir and refitted my power steering, because for the last couple of months I've been running, I can't even remember what it's called, a power steering delete from a company in America, and that's been great, but I think when I got the K20 in here, then I'm going to want power steering. So I just refitted the fuse and plumbed everything back in. Just need to fill it up. But today, just going to take the drive shafts out, just trying to do a little bit at a time. I've also ordered a welder, and I've got a few other bits just to help me start cracking on with these chassis rails. And yeah, I've got sort of 3 months or 3 weeks to start with now. Some people estimate that we'll be homebound for 3 months. So I thought, whilst the deliveries are still happening, let's get some parts to help me move on with this. So yeah, today is just simple drive shafts out for the Mini, and maybe tinker with the engine, but let's crack on with this. So just a quick one. I've taken the badge off the back of here, and I'm really tempted to put it on the front here, because it fits so well. It follows the line of the body, but I don't know. Here's a picture of it on. Let me know what you think in the comments below, would be great. I'm also going to be replacing this grille with a new one. I can't decide whether to go with the Atom Speed because it's slightly bigger, but I'm probably not going to have any need for it because, well, I won't have a supercharger anymore. So basically, look, we've got no brakes on at the minute. I'm going to fit the wheel and drop the car down. Just taking the centre cap out, and that should hopefully stop the wheel from rotating. So let me undo the nut. So the nut is stuck, pretty much. And yeah, I can't quite get it off. So I'm going to use this stuff. It's just stuff I've been given, ready for the 4x4s, but it works. I don't know if you've ever used it. Mac Oil, it's like a 4-in-1 maintenance spray. Apparently it's just like a better WD-40. I don't know. It has actually worked in the past as well, which is quite scary. WD-40 didn't do anything. You put this on the other side of the car, and it just starts to fall. Bits just start to fall off. So I kind of gave up on getting the centre nut out. Can't do it. My breaker bar is just bending all over the place, so I need to really go and buy an impact gun, or see if I've got a mate that can bring me one. So what I decided to do was get the engine mount and gearbox mount ready. So this little bad boy will be the gearbox mount, which indeed has come off the Civic. Basically just took a grinder to it, but now I've got, that was my last grinding disc. I do have more arriving tomorrow. So let me just spin you around. So yeah, I just cut it from the mounting points here. I realised that it's strengthened here, so I'm going to strengthen it on the Mini as well, but I've got some sheet metal arriving instead of trying to cut all that off and fabricate it. And then I've done this side, but I've drilled all the sort of spot welds to see if I can get it loose, and I have at the bottom, but just places at the side just doesn't want to come, and obviously when I sort of get up here I'm not going to be able to get these off. So tomorrow when my grinding discs come, I'll have to be sort of grinding all past these little holes and get this one off, because what I've pretty much decided to do is use the stock mounts. So this one will pretty much sit back here. I'll need some of these wires and it'll be welded. It'll be welded to this point here. This is going to be notched. This top part will be notched out, and this will be notched out. And I'll reinforce all that then with half, quarter-inch maybe steel. But it'll sort of be an indent shape because the gearbox would hit this. And then on this side, on the K20, the engine mount's a bit further forward, so it can't marry up with this like the gearbox would, one would. So it's going to have to come forward a touch. The good thing about the Civic is that the engine mount sits here, but it also sort of goes off to the right a bit. So I'll be able to reinforce this bit here, maybe extend it a touch, and weld it all to this rail. So essentially still keeping its rigidity, and it'll support the engine just as it should. So yeah, not a bad day today, but I'll wait now for the grinding discs to arrive, and then I can sort of carry on really. I need to get the engine mount out, I need to get these drive shafts out, but I don't really want to spend another 150 quid, 200 quid maybe on a impact gun, especially with sort of what's going on worldwide. So I'll have a think and see what I can do with those when everything's here and I can sort of get to work again properly. I'll bring you all back. It'll be in this video, but later in the week. So yeah, I'll see you soon. Good morning. So, over the last couple of days, pretty much everything has been arriving. We've got grinding discs, sanding discs, a welder, welding mask, a few other bits that will help me along the journey of the K-swap. Today, well, yesterday, when the grinding discs arrived, I've gone all fancy and I ordered Bosch metal discs, metal cutting discs. I thought they'd last the longest. I don't really know, but I'm just going off the old Bosch name. I kind of got a bit grinder happy and started cutting into the Mini without the camera, so I'll show you that in a sec. But for today, we're gonna, well, yeah, today, okay, so today, we're gonna grind the rails out, notch them out ready to sort of test fit the engine and get everything into place. I want to try and get the engine into some sort of place if I can, so that I can work where the drive shafts need to go, and then I can obviously mark up where the engine mounts need to be welded in once I've cut everything out that I need to. Obviously I'm on lockdown with the whole COVID-19 thing going around, so I'm on my own. I don't have an engine crane, so what I've done is got this little bad boy, which is on these little wheels. It is rated to hold up around 200 kg. I know that the K20 weighs about 400 with the box, so I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm staying hopeful that it will support the weight of the engine on there, so I can wheel it around, get it up, and then I'll jack the whole engine up on this. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, got a bit welder happy. I got the old mount off the Civic, which is obviously welded to the car and spot welded as well. So I drilled all the spot welds out and then took a grinder to the rest of it. This will then sit, let me pop this on here, and then I'll have to try and spin the camera around. So this will sit essentially on here like this, obviously a bit of work to go yet. I'm going to have to fabricate something behind it so it just lengthens this a touch, and then obviously cut this so it suits on weld. You'll also notice that I've cut this, and this has got to be cut out to fit everything inside. Yeah, you'll see as the build goes on. And then notching this other side. This is the gearbox mount of the Civic, and this will sit somewhere here. But obviously I need to get the engine in place so that I can make sure that these are going to be in the right place, and then the drive shafts. These are still the mini drive shafts. I'll be taking them out. I've got a gun coming at some point, because obviously earlier in the video I couldn't get them out. So I'm gonna start cutting this side and cut a bit more off here. So huge thank you to Mali for bringing up the magical machine that gets rid of all stuck bolts. Now the drive shaft's stuck in there, so I've got to try and get the drive shaft out. In other news, we're making progress on here. So all this, before anyone goes, oh my god, you're going to have no strength, this will all be welded back on a straight piece. It has to be flat to allow the K20 to fit in here. So that's almost driver's side done. A bit more trimming here, essentially back to this post, and then once I've done that side, it's onto here. So before I start on the passenger side, I'm just going to get this drive shaft out, and just want a bit more extra room really in the engine bay. So now that I've got the tool, and I've only really got it for a day, I can get this side out and yeah, move on, get the engine out and test fit, hopefully by the end of this video. What a day. Good news though, because sorry, I'm a bit tired. It's wrestling with an engine on your own is definitely not the easiest of things, but if I flip this round, it's sitting there. Getting it onto that little lovely trolley of mine was not the easiest of tasks, so I've had to put it on, well, it was on both of these blocks to sort of support it. The problem I'm having is that it's currently hitting the back here. Now yes, this does have to be cut, but it will be welded with 1/2 inch steel. It's going to be thicker than what was there anyway, so it'll be just as strong. So I'm just going to try now with the big jack to get this in. that was a struggle. But it's in, so I'm just going to line everything up and then take it back out, put it in the garage, and in the next video we'll be welding everything back up and pretty much getting ready to make the mounts and mount the engine in. So stay tuned, like, share, subscribe would be amazing, and I'll see you folks on the next one.